Virgo, stop scrolling. Stop everything you are doing with your hands and listen to me, because what I am about to tell you is not possibility. It is not a hope. It is not a gentle suggestion from the universe wrapped in soft language. The cards have shown me, with a clarity that made my hands go cold on the table, that a person who vanished from your life, a person you stopped allowing yourself to wait for, is returning to you in August 2026 with a full confession and an offer that rewrites the last chapter you thought was finished. And I will stake everything I have built on this. I will publicly burn my tarot deck on a live stream, every single card, and I will never read for another human being again if this does not come through for you. That is not drama. That is not a performance for views. That is the only honest response a reader can give when the deck shows something this loud, this specific, this undeniable. The seeds grew, Virgo. The harvest is already in the barn. You just have not been told yet. Now I need you to do something physical for me, right now, in this moment. Put the phone down flat on the table or the bed, not in your hand, flat. Uncurl your fingers, drop your shoulders away from your ears, unclench your jaw. I know you have been listening to readings while doing dishes, while half watching something else, while scrolling through comments. This is not that. This reading found you for a reason, and it is asking for your full body, your full chest, your full attention. You owe yourself that. Whatever you were about to type, whatever notification just buzzed, whatever task is pulling at the back of your mind, it will survive 5 minutes without you. But this message will not repeat itself. The cards showed me this window, this specific alignment for you, and I am delivering it exactly as it was given to me. So sit back, breathe in through your nose 4 counts, hold for 4, release through your mouth. Do it once more. Good, you are here now. You are present, and that matters more than you know, because what I am about to lay out for you is not general. It is not a horoscope column. This is a reading that has your emotional fingerprint on it, and the only way it lands fully is if you are actually in the room with me, actually breathing, actually letting yourself feel what is rising in your chest right now. And I know there is a part of you, the Virgo part, the analytical part, the part that has been disappointed before and has built a very reasonable, very well-organized wall around your hope. That is already composing the objection. You are thinking, this is too specific to be true, or this is too good. Or I have heard promises before and they dissolved. I want to speak directly to that part of you. You are not foolish for guarding yourself. You are not weak for needing proof. The cards do not ask you to be naive. They ask you to be willing. And the difference between those two things is everything. You do not have to believe me yet. You just have to stay in the chair for the next few minutes and notice what lands in your body. Because the deck is not speaking to your logic right now. It is speaking to the part of you that still checks your phone at 11 p.m., the part that still rehearses what you would say if they walked inches, the part that pretends you are over it while arranging the furniture so the door would be visible from where you sit. I see you, the cards see you, and they are not here to tease you. I do not know your name. I do not know your face. I have never met you, never seen your kitchen or the way you hold your coffee or the specific shade of tired under your eyes this week. But I know the shape of what you're carrying. I know the emotional signature. I know the timing. And I know that somewhere between 3 and 6 weeks from the moment you press play on this video, a message is going to reach you. A handwritten note, or a voice message, or a letter that arrives through a person you did not expect to be the messenger. And the words in it will contain a confession, an admission of what they did or why they left, and an offer. A real, tangible, specific offer that changes the architecture of your next year. The deck insists on this. I am being shown this, and I will burn every card I own before I soften that promise into something vague. Now let me tell you how I got here. Because you deserve to know the method before you receive the message. The spread I pulled for you tonight is one I have used 11 times in 25 years of reading. 11. It is called the unfinished letter spread, and it is not a spread you choose lightly. It is not a spread for casual curiosity or general guidance. It is a spread you pull only when the current's energy is screaming about a story that was interrupted, a conversation that ended mid-sentence, a relationship that dissolved without closure, a situation that simply stopped and left a person standing in the wreckage holding a half-written letter they never got to send. That is you, Virgo. That is the energy the cards locked onto the moment I shuffled for you tonight. The unfinished letter spread uses 13 cards, and each card is a position in the anatomy of that unfinished story. I am going to walk you through every position before I flip a single one, because you need to understand the architecture of what is being revealed. You need to know what each seat at the table represents before the cards sit down in them. The first position is the sealed envelope. This is the truth that exists right now, in this moment, that has not yet been delivered to you. It is already written. It is already real. You simply have not opened it yet. The second position is the hand that wrote it. This shows me who is coming, what energy they carry, what motivated their silence, and what is motivating their return. The third position is the silence between words. This is the gap, the weeks or months where nothing happened, where you heard nothing, where you told yourself it was over. This position tells me what was actually happening in that silence. The fourth is the old wound reopened, not to hurt you again, to show you that the wound is not what you think it is, and that what you have been calling damage, the cards are calling preparation. The fifth position is the hidden hand. There is someone in this story you have not fully accounted for. A mediator, a mutual friend, a family member, a colleague who has been working behind the curtain. This card shows me who they are and what they are doing right now tonight to make this return possible. The sixth position is the debt unpaid. Something is owed to you. Not necessarily money, though for some of you it is. It might be an apology. It might be acknowledgement. It might be the return of something tangible. This card tells me what the debt is and how it will be settled. The seventh position is the door left ajar. You did not fully close this. You think you did, you told yourself you did. But the cards show me the door is at 3 degrees, and the light is still coming through, and you have been standing in that light. And that is not weakness. That is readiness. The eighth position is the messenger's arrival. This is the how, the mechanism, the specific way the news reaches your hands. The ninth is the proof in the palm. This is the tangible evidence that this is real and not a dream, not a manipulation, not a half-truth. You will hold something. You will see something. You will hear a specific sentence that removes all doubt. The 10th position is the unspoken question. There is a question you have never asked them. You have rehearsed it 100 times in the shower, in the car, in the 3 a.m. dark. You never sent it. This card tells me whether you will get to ask it and what the answer will be. The 11th position is the bridge rebuilt. This is not about going back to what was. The cards are very clear on this. The bridge is new wood. The architecture is different. This card shows me what the new version of this connection looks like. The 12th position is the new ink. What gets written next? The plan. The practical, Tuesday afternoon, unglamorous next steps that make this real instead of just a beautiful emotional moment. And the 13th and final position is the next chapter, not the ending. Never the ending, the next chapter. The one where you are not waiting anymore. The one where you are the author and not the audience. That is the architecture. 13 seats, 13 truths, and I pulled them for you, Virgo, tonight. And I have not slept because of what I saw, so take one more breath, settle your weight into the chair, and let me turn the first card. The first card I turn for you is the sealed envelope, and what comes up is the Six of Cups in reverse. Now do not flinch at the reversal. In this spread, reverse does not mean blocked. Reversed means internal. It means the truth is alive and moving, but it has not yet crossed the threshold into your visible world. The Six of Cups reversed tells me that someone is sitting right now with a memory of you that they cannot put down. They are turning it over the way you turn over a stone in your garden, looking for something they lost underneath. For some of you, this is a romantic situation. A person you loved, or still love in the quiet, structural way that Virgo loves, with your hands, with your service, with the way you remembered how they took their coffee and fixed the thing they mentioned once. 3 months ago in passing, they left or the situation collapsed, and they told themselves it was the right decision. But the cards are showing me that every night since, they have been drafting a letter they cannot send. For others of you, this is not romantic at all. This is a parent, a sibling, a family member who stopped calling, who chose a side, who let a misunderstanding calcify into a year of silence. The Six of Cups reversed says they are holding the memory of your kitchen, your voice, the specific way you said their name, and the guilt of the silence is heavier than the pride that started it. Notice which one just landed in your body. Did your chest tighten at the romantic image, or did your throat close at the family one? That reaction is information. That is the thread you are meant to follow through this reading. Hold it, do not lose it. The second card, the hand that wrote it, and here the deck gives me the Knight of Pentacles. Slow, deliberate, earthy. This is not a person who rushes. This is not someone who fires off a text at 2 in the morning in a fit of emotion. The Knight of Pentacles walks. He carries the message in his coat pocket for 3 days before he delivers it because he needs the words to be exact. For some of you, this is a man, older, or at least someone who carries themselves with a heaviness. Irresponsibility, someone whose silence you mistook for indifference, but was actually the paralysis of a person who did not know how to say what they needed to say without breaking something. For others, this is not a person at all but an institution, a company, a legal office, a financial body that has been processing something on your behalf, and the delay was not neglect. It was procedure. The Knight of Pentacles does not skip steps, and whatever is coming to you is coming with every step completed, every signature in place, every verification done. You are not getting a half answer. You are getting the full document, the full sentence, the full walkthrough, and it is coming from a hand that was shaking when it wrote it, even if the handwriting looks steady. Now the third position, the silence between words, and the card that falls here is the Four of Swords. Rest, withdrawal. A figure lying still with hands folded. And I need you to hear me clearly on this one, Virgo, because this is the card that is going to make you cry, and I need you to let it. The silence that happened between you and this person. The weeks or months where you checked your phone and found nothing, where you told yourself they simply did not care enough, where you built a whole narrative about your own unworthiness out of their absence. The Four of Swords says that was not abandonment, that was incubation. That person was in the room with the lights off, lying very still, gathering something. For some of you, they were gathering evidence, building a case for themselves, figuring out how to come back without being destroyed by their own shame. For others, they were in a literal withdrawal, a health situation, a family crisis that consumed them so fully that reaching out felt like drowning in front of you, and they could not bear for you to see them underwater. The silence was not a verdict on your worth, it was a cocoon, and what is emerging from it now has wings. I need you to hear that. The silence had wings the entire time. You just could not see them from the outside of the cocoon. And here the emotional ground shifts, because the fourth card is the old wound reopened, and the deck lays down the Five of Pentacles. Two figures in the snow, cold, locked out, walking past a lit window and not going inches. And I know this card. I know it in my own body before I ever read it for someone else. The Five of Pentacles is the wound of not being chosen, the wound of being the one who waits while the other person walks away into the warm house and does not look back. For some of you, this wound is financial. You were left holding the debt, the lease, the responsibility, while someone else walked clean, and the wound is not just the money. The wound is that they left you to be the responsible one, the Virgo one, the one who fixes and manages and does not get to fall apart. For others, this wound is the romantic abandonment, the being left in the kitchen with two plates set and one chair empty, the rehearsing of a conversation that never happened. The Five of Pentacles says, I see that wound. I am not going to pretend it does not ache. But here is what the card also says, and this is the part most readers skip. The lit window is right there. It has always been right there. You have been walking past your own rescue because you were looking in the direction they walked away. The wound is reopening not to bleed again, but to finally be cleaned, stitched, and closed. And the person coming back is carrying the thread. There is a shift happening in your breathing right now. I can feel it through the cards. You went from skepticism to recognition, and now you are in the tender place, the place under the armor where you actually live. Stay there for one more card, just one more, because the fifth position is the hidden hand, and what I am being shown here is going to surprise you. The fifth card, the hidden hand, and the deck turns up the Three of Wands. A figure standing at the edge of a cliff, watching ships come inches waiting for something they set in motion a long time ago to finally reach the shore. And Virgo, this is the card that made me set my pen down and stare at the table for a full 2 minutes before I could speak. Because the Three of Wands tells me there is a person in your story who you have completely overlooked. A mediator, a go-between, someone who has been carrying your name in conversations you were never invited to. For some of you, this is a mutual friend, someone who never took sides publicly but who has been privately, persistently, almost stubbornly, saying your name in rooms where decisions about you were being made. They have been saying you need to call them. You need to fix this. You owe them this conversation. And the person who left has been resisting, and the mutual friend has been patient. And now, in August, that patience is about to break through. For others of you, this hidden hand is professional, a colleague, A manager, an advocate within an institution who has been pushing a file forward, who has been making phone calls on your behalf that you never knew about. You think your situation has been stagnant. You think nothing has moved. The Three of Wands says 3 ships are already on the horizon, and the only reason you cannot see them yet is that you are standing too close to the cliff. Step back. They are coming inches. And I want to pause here because I feel the energy in this reading shift from tenderness into something fiercer, something almost protective. The cards are not just comforting you right now, they are getting angry on your behalf. And that anger is leading us directly into the 6th position, the debt unpaid, and the card that lands here is the Justice card, upright, unflinching, sword raised. Virgo, something is owed to you, not a vague cosmic balance, a specific nameable tangible debt. For some of you, this is literal money, a sum that was withheld, payment that was delayed, a financial obligation someone made to you and then quietly walked away from. The Justice card says it is coming back, not as a favor, not as a gift, as a settlement, as a correction. You will receive a document, transfer, notification, and the number will be exact. For others, the debt is not financial. It is an apology that was never given, an acknowledgement that what was done to you was wrong, a public or private statement that says, I was the one who failed here. You did not deserve that. And the Justice card does not deal in half measures. The sword comes down clean. You will hear the words, you will not have to interpret them. You will not have to wonder if it was genuine. The delivery will be so clear, so unambiguous, that the part of you that has been rehearsing disbelief will have nothing left to argue with. Now the 7th card, the door left ajar, and here the deck gives me the 2 of Cups. And I almost laughed when it appeared because of course it did. Of course the door you never fully closed is the card of partnership, of mutual recognition, of 2 hands reaching across a table. You did not lock it, Virgo. You think you did. You told yourself you did. You changed the locks metaphorically, rearranged the furniture, told your friends you were fine, built a whole new routine that did not include them. But the 2 of Cups says the door is at 3 degrees and the light is coming through, and you have been standing in that light for months. For some of you, that light is romantic. You still have their number saved. You still drive the route that passes their street. You still make the recipe they taught you, and you do not know why. That is not pathetic. The cards say that is readiness. That is the door staying open because something is coming through it. For others, the door is familial. You still set an extra place in your mind at holidays. You still see their face in a crowd, and your body reacts before your brain can stop it. You still defend them to other people even while you are furious with them. That is the 2 of Cups. That is the door at 3 degrees. And in August, someone is going to push it open from the other side. You will not have to invite them. You will not have to perform openness. You will simply hear the knock, and your hands will already be moving toward the handle. And here the turn comes, because I need you to understand what happens next is not passive. You are not just receiving. You are participating. The 8th card, the messenger's arrival, and the deck shows me the Page of Cups, young energy, tentative energy. Someone approaching with a cup held out, slightly trembling, not sure if they will be received. The message is coming, Virgo, but it is coming in a form that will feel almost too small for the enormity of what it carries. A text that says, "Can we talk?" A voicemail that is 43 seconds long and the voice cracks on the word sorry. A letter, actual paper, actual handwriting, slipped under a door or handed over by the mutual friend, the hidden hand, the 3 of Wands person. For some of you, it arrives digitally. A message from a number you deleted but your phone remembered. A subject line that makes your stomach drop before you even open it. For others, it arrives in person. A knock, a figure in a doorway. A hand extended holding something physical, a document, key, a check, a small object that belonged to you and that they kept all this time. The Page of Cups says the delivery will feel almost shy, almost too gentle for the storm you have been living inches in. That gentleness is not weakness. It is the sound of someone who has rehearsed this moment 100 times and is terrified you will close the door. You will not close the door. The cards say you will not close the door. There is something loosening in your shoulders right now. I can tell because my own shoulders just dropped, and that only happens when the reading moves from information into truth. You are past the point of analyzing. You are in the body now. You are in the chest. And the next 4 cards are going to take you from the chest into the hands, into the doing, into the practical reality of what happens after the knock comes. Stay with me. The 9th card is about proof, and you are going to need what it says. The ninth card, the proof in the palm, and the deck lays down the Ace of Pentacles. A hand emerging from a cloud, holding a single golden coin, solid, heavy, undeniable, and Virgo. This is the card I needed to see for you because I know, the part of you that has been burned before. The Virgo part that needs to see the receipt, that needs to verify, that needs to hold the thing in its hands before it will allow the heart to open. The Ace of Pentacles says you will not have to guess, you will not have to interpret, the proof will be physical. For some of you, this is a document, a letter with a letterhead, a contract with your name on it, a bank notification with a number that makes you sit down on the edge of the bed and read it 3 times because the first 2 times your brain refused to process it. You will hold the paper. You will feel the weight of it. You will check the date and the signature and the amount, and it will be real. For others, the proof is a person standing in front of you saying a specific sentence, not a vague "I missed you." Not a soft "can we try again." A sentence that names the thing they did, names the date, names the impact it had on you, and then says, "I am here to fix it, and here is how." The Ace of Pentacles says the proof will be so concrete that the skeptic in you, the one who is listening to this reading right now with arms crossed, will have to uncross them, will have to exhale, will have to say, "Okay, this is real. I cannot argue with this." And now the 10th card, the unspoken question, and the deck gives me the High Priestess, veiled, still, knowing, and this one makes me lower my voice because this is sacred ground, Virgo. There is a question you have never asked them. You have asked it in the shower. You have asked it at 3 in the morning to the ceiling. You have asked it to your therapist, to your journal, to the empty passenger seat of your car. But you have never asked it to their face. For some of you, the question is romantic. Why did you leave when I was trying so hard? Why did you let me believe it was my fault? Did you ever actually love me, or was I convenient? The High Priestess says yes, you will get to ask it. And the answer will not be what you expect. It will not be the answer you rehearsed receiving. It will be smaller and sadder and more honest than that. And somehow that honesty will be what finally lets you set the question down. For others, the question is familial or professional. Why did you choose them over me? Why did you let me take the blame? Why did you never say thank you for everything I carried? The High Priestess says the answer is coming, and it will arrive not as a grand speech but as a quiet admission, almost whispered, almost embarrassed, and it will be enough. It will be more than enough. It will be the thing that lets you sleep through the night for the first time in a year. Here the energy shifts again. I feel it in the spread. The cards are moving from the past into the future, and the texture changes. It becomes warmer, more grounded, less haunted. The 11th card, the bridge rebuilt, and the deck shows me the Eight of Wands, motion, speed, arrows flying through open sky. And this is not the same bridge, Virgo. I need you to understand that. The Eight of Wands is not nostalgia. It is not going back to what was had a crack in the foundation, what was had a door that could be walked out of without a word. The new bridge is different wood, different architecture. The person coming back is not the same person who left, and you are not the same person who stood in the wreckage. For some of you, the new bridge in romance looks like slowness. Like, we do not move back in together. We do not skip the hard conversations. We take it one Tuesday at a time. The Eight of Wands seems fast, but in this position it means the momentum is finally moving, not that you are rushing. For others, the new bridge in family or career looks like a boundary that did not exist before. A condition. This is what I need going forward, and if you cannot meet it, the door closes for real this time, and they will agree to the condition, because they are the one walking across the bridge toward you, and they will walk at whatever pace you set. The 12th card, the new ink, and here is the Three of Pentacles, collaboration. Craft, 3 figures building something together, each holding a different tool. This is the practical next step. This is what happens after the emotional moment passes, and it is Wednesday afternoon, and the dishes need doing, and the logistics need sorting. For some of you, this is a plan being made and kept. A calendar date, a meeting. A literal sitting down with papers conversation where the terms of the new arrangement are written out. You will not be swept up in emotion and forget to protect yourself. The Three of Pentacles says you will be practical. You will be thorough. You will be the Virgo in the room who asks, "Okay, but what does this actually look like on a Thursday in November?" And they will answer. They will have an answer. For others, this is a collaborative project, a shared responsibility, a co-parenting arrangement, a business partnership restructured, family role redefined. The ink is new. The terms are different. and both parties sign willingly. And the 13th and final card, the next chapter. The deck turns up the sun, full, blazing, unshadowed, and I have to stop for a moment because in 25 years of reading, I know what it means when the sun appears at the end of an unfinished letter spread. It means the story you thought was a tragedy is revealing itself, in its final frame, as a love story. Not a perfect one, not an easy one, but a real one, with a Virgo at the center who stopped waiting and started living, and in doing so, became the person the other one needed to come home to. You are not the victim of this story. You never were. You are the author who set down the pen and trusted the next page to write itself. And it did. And it is writing itself right now, in a hand you will recognize, in ink that will not fade. The sun says the next chapter is warm. The sun says you will laugh again in a way that does not feel performed. The sun says the kitchen will have 2 chairs occupied, and neither one will be empty. You are walking into light, Virgo, not because the dark was not real, but because you walked through it and kept your hands open. Now let me tell you when. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you what to do tonight so your body is ready to receive what is already in motion. The timing is 3 to 6 weeks from the night you are sitting in this chair, listening to my voice. Not 3 to 6 months, not by the end of the year. 3 to 6 weeks. The cards are specific, and I will not soften them into vagueness, because you have waited long enough for someone to give you a real number. The window opens in the first week of August 2026, and it is fully active by the 3rd week. For some of you, it will be closer to 3 weeks. The message will arrive before August is half over, and you will look back at this video and say, they said 3 weeks and it was 3 weeks. For others, it will be the full 6. And the reason for the extra time is not doubt. The reason is the hidden hand, the 3 of Wands person, is still making one final phone call, still arranging one final piece so that when the message reaches you, it arrives complete. You are not being made to wait out of cruelty. You are being allowed the full preparation. The Knight of Pentacles walks, but he does not stop, and he does not arrive empty-handed. And the way it reaches you will feel almost too ordinary for the enormity of what it carries. That is the thing I need you to brace for. You have been imagining a dramatic scene, a movie moment, rain, doorstep, speech. The cards say no. The cards say it arrives on a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday. You are in the middle of something small, washing a dish, walking back from the mailbox, sitting at your desk pretending to focus on a spreadsheet. And then the phone buzzes or the knock comes, or the envelope is in your hand, and the ordinary moment cracks open and underneath, it is the thing you have been waiting for. For some of you, it is a voice message. You will see the name on the screen and your thumb will hover. You will almost not press play. You will press play, and the voice will say, I know I have no right to call you, but I need you to hear me say this once. And then they will say the specific thing, and you will stand very still in whatever room you are standing in, and you will not breathe for the length of the recording. For others, it is a physical letter, cream paper, handwriting you recognize instantly, even though it has been months or years since you saw it. The envelope will have your name on it in their hand, and the mutual friend, the hidden hand, will be the one who gives it to you, or leaves it in your mailbox, or slides it under the door of your office. You will pick it up and your hands will know before your mind does. Your hands will say, this is it. This is the thing, and the words you will hear. The fragments that will land in your body and stay there are different for each thread. If this is romantic, the words will be something like, I was wrong to leave without telling you why. And I need you to know it was never about your worth. If this is family, the words will be, I chose the easy path and you paid for it. And I am sorry for every day I let you carry that alone. If this is career or financial, the words will be, the delay was on our end, the correction is enclosed, and we owe you an explanation as well as a resolution. You will hear one of those sentences, or something shaped like it, and it will land in the center of your chest like a stone dropping into still water, and the ripples will go outward from there for days. Now, and I need you to hear this next part with your whole body because it is the hinge of this entire reading. The silence you have been enduring, the absence, the radio quiet, the checking your phone and finding nothing that you have been doing every single night like a small, private wound you reopen with your own thumbnail. That silence was not abandonment. It was not evidence that you were forgettable. It was not proof that you did not matter enough to be called. The Four of Swords told us this earlier, and I need to say it again, slower, closer to your ear. The silence was incubation. The silence was the other person sitting in a dark room, gathering the courage, gathering the evidence, gathering the exact words so that when they finally broke the quiet, what came out was not a half measure, not a testing text, not a casual hey. What came out was the full confession, the full offer, the full weight of a person saying, I see what I did, and I am here to repair it, and I will not leave again without telling you why. You interpreted their silence as a verdict on your lovability. The cards say it was the sound of someone building the courage to deserve you. The quiet was not the absence of love. The quiet was love preparing itself to speak. And now it is ready, and now it is coming. And you do not have to earn it. You do not have to perform readiness. You do not have to be smaller or bigger or more composed than you are. You just have to be the person sitting in this chair right now, with your hands open, with the door at 3 degrees, with the light coming through. That is enough. You are enough. You have been enough this entire time. And I know there is a part of you that is saying, okay, but what do I do tonight? What do I do between now and the knock? What do I do with my hands and my evening, and the 3 hours before sleep when the waiting gets loud? I am going to tell you. I am going to give you 4 things to do before your head hits the pillow tonight, and they are not suggestions. They are preparations. They are the way you tell your body that the vigil is over, that you are standing down from the watchtower, that you are allowed to rest because someone else is carrying the message toward you now, and you do not have to walk toward them. Tonight, before you do anything else, before you check your phone one more time, before you scroll, before you distract yourself with a show or a chore or the comfort of busy hands, I need you to get a piece of paper, any paper, a receipt, sticky note, the back of an envelope, and I need you to write down the name of the person or the situation you have stopped hoping about. The one you will not say out loud anymore because saying it out loud makes it real, and you are tired of it being real without being resolved. Write it down. Their name, or the name of the company, or the name of the family member, or simply the word that represents the wound. Write it in your own handwriting. Do not type it. The hand needs to do this, and then fold the paper twice, once horizontally, once vertically, small, compact, like you are folding it into a shape that can fit under a pillow. And then that is exactly where you put it, under your pillow. Tonight, the reason is not mystical. The reason is that your body has been carrying this name in your chest, in your jaw, in the tight space behind your sternum, and you have not given it a physical place to rest. Writing it down and placing it under your head says, I am putting this down for the night. I am not solving it tonight. I am letting it sleep beside me without me having to hold it. You will sleep differently tonight, not perfectly, but differently. The vigil will ease by 1 degree, and that degree is everything. The second thing you do tonight is open a window. Not a crack fully. You go to whatever room feels most like the room where you have been waiting. The bedroom where you checked your phone. The kitchen where you set 2 plates. The living room where you sat in the silence and told yourself it was peace when it was actually grief dressed in quiet clothes. You open the window all the way. You let the air inches the night air, the warm August air, the air that has been moving around outside while you have been sealed inches, and you say, out loud, in your own voice, not whispered, not muttered, spoken to the room and the night and the open sky, I am not guarding the door anymore. Say it twice if your voice cracks the first time. Say it until it sounds like yours. The reason is that your body has been in sentry mode for months, standing watch, monitoring, interpreting every sound as a possible arrival, every silence as confirmation of absence. You are standing down tonight. You are telling your nervous system that the message is in transit, that the messenger is walking. And you do not need to watch the road anymore. You can go to bed. You can close your eyes. The knock will come whether you are watching for it or not. Let the window stay open for 10 minutes, then close it, but say the words first. Always say the words first. The third thing is water, a full glass, not a sip. A full glass, and you drink it standing up slowly, before you get into bed. And while you drink it, you set an intention. You say, internally or aloud, tonight I dream clearly. Tonight I am allowed to receive information in sleep. Tonight my mind does not have to solve this. It simply has to rest and let the answer find its own shape. The reason is practical. Your subconscious has been running overtime, rehearsing conversations, composing responses, building scenarios. You are exhausted in a way that sleep does not fix because your mind is still working the night shift. The water is a small ritual of completion. You drink, you finish, the glass is empty. You are done for the day, the thinking is done. The solving is done. You set the glass in the sink and you do not pick it up again tonight. You let it sit there, empty, and you go to bed. the fourth thing is the hardest, and I will not pretend it is not. You are going to unmute or unblock one phone number. One, the one you silenced out of self-protection. The one you put on Do Not Disturb because every time it buzzed and it was not them, it hurt. Or the one that was them. And you blocked it because you could not bear to see their name appear and then say nothing. You do not have to text them. You do not have to call. You simply unmute. You simply remove the block. You open the channel so that when the message comes, it is not filtered into a folder you never check. It arrives in the main feed. It buzzes. You hear it. You see it. You do not have to answer tonight. You just have to let the door be unlocked so the message can come through when it is ready. If your hands are shaking while you do this, let them shake. If you need to set the phone face down afterward, do that. But do the unblocking, do the unmuting. Tell the phone, I am no longer hiding from this. I am no longer hiding from them. I am no longer hiding from myself. And when it happens, when the message arrives, when the knock comes, or the voice message plays, or the letter is in your hand, do not open it immediately. Hold it, hold the phone, hold the envelope. Let your hands shake if they need to. Let your breath go shallow. Let your whole body have the reaction it has been saving for months. Breathe in 3 times, slow. In through the nose, out through the mouth, 3 full cycles, and then you open it, you read it, you listen to it, and you do not perform composure. You do not straighten your spine and say, oh, okay, fine, as if this is package delivery. You cry if you cry. You sit down if your legs go. You make a sound if a sound comes. You are allowed to be undone in this moment. You are allowed to be the person who waited and is now receiving. And if someone handed it to you, the messenger, the mutual friend, the hidden hand person, you say thank you. You look them in the eye and you say thank you, even if your voice is wrecked. And then you do not respond immediately. You sit with it, 1 full hour. You hold the message in your hands or in your mind, and you let it settle into your body. You let the truth of it find its final resting place in your bones. And then, when the hour is up, you respond. And you respond with your own true thing, not the rehearsed speech, not the composed, dignified, I am fine answer. Your true thing, the thing that is actually in your chest, the thing that has been waiting as long as they have. And I need to tell you this, Virgo, because I have seen what happens after the message lands. I have seen people receive the moment they prayed for and then not recognize the follow-through because it did not look like fireworks. It looked like a Tuesday. It looked like a phone call on a Thursday afternoon that was slightly awkward and slightly too long and slightly mundane. And they almost missed it because they were waiting for the cinematic version. The cards are showing me 3 concrete signs that confirm this is not a one-night miracle. This is a structural change. And you need to know what to watch for so you do not talk yourself out of it in the second week, when the adrenaline fades and the Virgo in you starts auditing the experience for flaws. The first sign is the document that actually arrives, not the promise of a document, not the we will send it next week. The actual thing in your hands, in your inbox, in your mailbox, the contract, the corrected invoice, the letter with the signature, the official notification. For some of you, this is the financial resolution. The number appears in your account and it is the exact number, and you check it twice, and it is not a pending transfer. It is settled. It is done. For others, this is the written apology, the formal acknowledgement, the email from the family member who says, I was wrong, and they do not qualify it. They do not add a but. They do not follow it with however. They say the words and they let the words stand. You will know it is real because there will be no asterisk, no fine print. No yes, but also you need to understand my side. Just the clean, full admission. And you will hold it and feel the weight of it and know that this is the Ace of Pentacles made physical. The second sign is the second conversation, because the first message will be the door opening. But the second conversation is the person walking through. Within 2 weeks of the initial contact, there will be a follow-up, a phone call, a meeting, a sitting down. And this second interaction will be less dramatic than the first. It will be practical. It will be someone saying, okay, so what does this look like going forward? And meaning it for some of you. This is the romantic second talk where you actually negotiate the terms. Where you say, I need you to tell me where you go when you go quiet. And they say, yes, I can do that. For others, this is the family meeting where the roles are redistributed, where the person who always carried the load finally says, I need you to take this from me, and the other person actually takes it. The second conversation is less cinematic and more important. It is the one that builds the new bridge. Do not skip it. Do not let the first emotional high trick you into thinking the work is done. The second conversation is where the real architecture gets built. The third sign is the plan that gets made and kept, not suggested, not proposed. Made and then kept. A date on a calendar that both parties honor. A payment that arrives on the day it was promised. A commitment that is followed through without you having to send a reminder, without you having to check in, without you having to manage it. For some of you, this is the Thursday in September where you sit across from them at a table, and the conversation is boring and logistical, and you almost laugh because 6 months ago, you would have given anything for the privilege of being bored together. For others, this is the financial plan, the repayment schedule, the structured resolution that moves from a single lump sum moment into an ongoing, reliable, predictable reality. The plan gets made, and then the next week it is kept, and the week after that, it is kept again, and you stop bracing for the other shoe. You stop waiting for the relapse, because the pattern is new, the ink is new, and the person holding the pen is not the same hand that walked away. Now I want to hear from you. And I do not say that as a performance. I say it because I read every single comment, everyone. I sit with my tea at the end of the night and I scroll through, and I read your words and I feel what you felt during the reading. So here is what I need you to do. Go to the comments and tell me which name came to your mind in the first 3 seconds of this video, not the name you expected, the one that flashed before your conscious mind could edit it, and then tell me, what would you say to them if they walked through your door tomorrow? Not the composed answer, not the dignified speech, the true thing, the thing in your chest. I read every single one. I will not reply to all of them because there are thousands of you, but I read them. I hold them. And sometimes I pull a card for the ones that make me set my tea down. And while you are down there, tell me what you felt in your body during this reading. Where did it land? Chest, throat, stomach, behind the eyes? Tell me. It helps the next person who finds this video at 2 in the morning and needs to know they are not alone in the feeling. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe. Not for me. For the next reading, which is coming. And which is about the thing you think is too late to fix. It is not too late. The cards told me to tell you that in the next video, and I will. Virgo, the person who left, is coming back with the full confession and the offer that changes everything. 3 to 6 weeks. The door is at 3 degrees. The light is coming through. You do not have to guard it anymore. You just have to be here, breathing, when the knock comes, and it is coming. I will burn every card I own if it is not.